sitcoms, they always had that sad, like the Charles in charge of our lives and our nights. They're all like that same upbeat.
Yeah, well, like not even just 80s, man. That was totally 90s too.
The
Like
90s,
the
I'm sorry.
like the guy going to open the fridge and then it says like, starring like
And he,
fucking Keegan Dyke, and he opens a fridge and he turns and looks at the camera and like, hey, but dude, they were breaking the fourth wall before like that was a thing.
yeah,
Only in the intros though.
that's where Deadpool got his swag at.
Well, I think he got that from like The Office and Parks and Rec. Deadpool will never be a fucking. I can't think of his name. Ron Swanson.
Yeah, but you know what? Deadpool is the first one, like out of all these superhero movies you watch, and everybody's getting slashed and cut and shot, and they got like a arm wound or a little chest wound. He was the first one to take one right up to the chute,
Ooh.
right up to, and like then like break the fourth
Yeah.
wall and tell you about it. Like,
Yeah.
didn't he say something stupid like that? Like, oh, right down Main Street. Or something?
Yeah, right up Main Street or something like that. And then and then when he's like, remember when the car flips and stuff, and he's like holds his hands up out of the side of the car door and stands up. He's like, I'm wearing a red suit, so you guys can't see me bleed. That's why he's got the brown pants on, like because he shit himself.
Yeah. Dude, I can't wait till the next one comes out. I feel like the last one was not forced, but it was good.
Are you talking about the PG-13 one, the Christmas one?
No, Deadpool 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Christmas one was actually. Did you watch that one?
Mm-mm.
It was weird because they took Deadpool 2 and they made it PG-13 and they had Shia LaBeouf, or no, not Shia LaBeouf, fucking Wonder Years.
Yeah, Savage, Ben Savage.
Yeah, they had him like
Fred Savage?
Yeah, Fred Savage, Ben Savage.
Ben's the one from Boy Meets World, right?
I don't know. You got me lost, but it's Fred Savage. And he was like bedtime stories, like sitting in bed and is telling the story of Deadpool from like a third person perspective, but it's still the same exact Deadpool movie. They just bleep out stuff and cut it all out and like cut scenes a little here and there. So it was literally the same movie, just redone for children ish.
Do you remember the movie back in the day with Howie Mandel, Fred Savage, and Ben Savage, Little Monsters?
Yes. Wait, Howie Mandel was in that?
That was the blue dude, the crazy.
with all the makeup and
Yeah.
the devil horns and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I can't even remember
Yeah.
his name right now.
And they like spit in someone's food, like in a cafeteria.
They like put cat food in the kid's tuna fish.
That's what it was.
the
That's what it
boy,
was.
And
It
then
was like
pissed in his apple juice.
Yeah, it was the whisker bits or whatever. Yeah.
Well, on that note, Whisker Tiddly Bits, we're back, baby.
We're back.
Bernie Dyke Podcast. I sound relaxed and rested because we just came back from vacation. So
Because you're relaxed and rested.
yeah, man, it's a good time to be alive. So we headed right into the fire zone pretty much in California. So
Yeah.
yeah, Bernie Dyke Podcast. We're back. It's like what 27 episodes.
27. And it will not be forever 27 because neither of us are left-handed and we're not going to die today.
27 is such a weird age.
It is. It was a fun age for me,
That was
but
like
yeah,
the
it's a weird age.
Like you need to take me serious, and people are like, "Shut up, shut the fuck up." You
Dude,
ain't serious.
I'm 30 and I'm still that way. I'm
I
like,
don't even care. Now I'm like,
I'm a child.
Still take me like serious like you did when I was 21, and they're like, "No, bitch, you're
Isn't
bald."
Isn't it funny how we like we progress like as we're a younger kid? We're like we want to grow up so fast, and then we grow up, and then we're like we want to be kids again. Like I want to just eat fucking cereal and watch some fucking cartoons and some some football or something.
I do that.
Yeah, I do that too. I got kids.
I don't have kids. I'd be doing that. So
Yeah.
yeah. I just took a little vacation. Went out to Universal Studios and took your advice. Hit the
The old tram ride.
Yeah, well, the first day we went out, it was really nice. Crystal's uncle let us stay with him in North Hollywood.
Yeah.
So that's literally like 15 minutes away from the park.
Yeah, it was perfect.
We didn't have to he dropped us off. We took an Uber home. That was a pretty. We did the late night thing, but we went to Santa Barbara. No, Santa Monica. Yeah, we went to Santa Monica the first day. Walked the beach, and dude,
It's a great beach.
it is. And then we got into Venice. And that's like
That's a fun spot.
that's like you step down the wrong alley, but you're on a boardwalk. Like it's like
That's
when you just
yeah,
mess
you
around
know what?
and
I
end up
haven't
down the
been to
wrong-
Venice in like 11 years, I think.
Well, now because weed's legal so much, like every 15 feet. It's like somebody's hotboxing this spot over here, and it's one of those little booths over to the right, you know?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
all like tucked down in there. And it's just crazy because like they just live there.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. Because like if you're going to be a bum,
That's the place to be.
like, bro, dudes just walk down and give them bums free weed.
Yeah, like guys walking down the beach smoking a blunt. And he's like,
No,
"Here."
no. Dude, like walk down like it was a care pack with water. You know how they do like, oh, we got
Oh
water and
yeah,
socks for you. There's a
that's
dude that
weed.
goes
You
down
don't
and
need.
drops like little dime bags off and stuff. I swear to God, because I was like, this dude's just giving the homeless people weed, bro. Like, quick, Crystal, scrub yourself up real quick.
That's how
Tuck
you.
over here. No, I'm
That's how
just
you know
kidding.
we're getting old, and we still refer to it as dime bags.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Yeah, I was just
I don't know.
little.
I don't know the
I know
modern day
he's not giving
slang.
him. I know they're not giving him a bunch of it. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
He's just
right.
like, here you go, like charity, like
Yeah,
probably the shit they couldn't sell or something. Who knows?
something.
But wait a minute, dude, I'm so confused. Like, I was just watching those guys give that weed to those people, and I thought to myself, there's not even a weed dealer anymore.
Yeah, isn't that like kind of weird? Like, and I felt that same way when I was in like San Diego, like Mission Beach area and stuff like that. So weird because you can like call, or you can actually just go on an app and you can actually like
You can just walk in the
you can
store.
order weed from an app. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, you can just go in a store, but like,
Just go in the
there's
store.
there's no more weed dealers in California unless like there's like a big celebrity weed dealer because they don't want to go on the spot or they get the delivery. But
Oh, like fucking, what was it? Milk Tyson?
yeah, maybe we'll get him someday. But
I don't
I
know.
don't get it, dude. Like, it's just, so there's
Yeah.
no weed dealers because they legalize weed,
Right.
and it's a pretty obvious pattern. Why don't they just legalize all the drugs?
Hmm.
Just make it so that way the heroin might not be laced with fentanyl because the government or whoever they
Yeah.
test it and they make sure those people are gonna do those drugs.
Yeah, and right now they're like illegal too. So it's like,
They got a stigma.
How
They
do
got
you-
that excitement about them, like you're
yeah,
sneaking
yeah,
around.
that for sure. Well,
You
there's
don't want to.
on the negative end, you have the stigmatism, but on the motivational side for
You
them
ever
to do
hidden
those
smoking
drugs.
or something from somebody? Like you smoking cigarettes, you don't want somebody to know. It's like more exciting when you get away with smoking a cigarette real
Right,
quick.
right, like jerking off, bro.
Yeah, like when you sneak in the bathroom real quick or like a closet, you know, and you come back out. But no,
Leave the door unlocked, like just in case you could get caught.
I don't understand that the fact that if they just legalized it all, they could still buy it from those other places that they're probably allowing the cartels to bring it in from, and then they could make sure that it's not poisoned. Those people are going to poison themselves no matter what, and if you force them to run around, they're going to end up finding some lace shit. That's why we got people chasing around little drug dealers for Mac Miller's death. It's
Oh
ridiculous.
shit! Yeah.
It's ridiculous. You don't need to. Just make it legal. Just make
I
it
agree.
legal
I agree.
and then take the tax money and put it into rehabilitation centers if you're that worried about these addicts, because at that point they're going to eventually figure out they're sick. That's
Yeah.
not even like I'm not even trying to be some like clever genius and fix the ways,
No,
but that's
it's
fucking
it's
simple.
definitely it's definitely a
1 +
thought a lot of
1.
people have had.
Yeah,
And I
but
think that like in politics and the bloodline like of our country, we're just so, the people that have a lot of money that control such a large part of the society, if you want to think that or if you don't want to think that, the fucking Rockefellers and such. I
but
feel
they're
like they
gonna
just have
get
so
that
much
shit, bro.
Yeah, but they just have so much influence, and I feel like it's just that stigma, like we were kind of talking about. It's that big stigma of like they don't want to be seen as that type of country, or that we want to be seen not as a wild country,
Yeah,
but like
this
maybe as
is
a relaxed
it's a
country.
mental health and they're playing on the whole we want you to be better and we want to take care of you. So you're gonna let illegal drugs come into the country, and instead of just fixing the situation by taking control of the drugs and administering them in a situation like you just did with weed that was so dangerous and terrible that it was whatever the fuck it was placed on Schedule 1 or whatever it is.
Yeah,
All you have to do is make it so it's legit. And who gives a fuck what anybody thinks about us? We're the superpower. We run the shit. And
Right.
realistically, you're going to have more money to put into rehabilitation centers. You're going to have more people that come out of it and realize they were just going through a phase or they were depressed or whatever. And with all the other drugs being legal, things like mushrooms and ecstasy, who knows what that fucking opens up and pushes people that are addicts away from being
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
with real science
we're allowed,
behind it.
we're allowed to
Like,
drink.
how long have they had issues with proving that marijuana is a
Has medicinal properties.
Yeah, because they couldn't, because the place
Right.
that they were testing it at only had one strand. It was a shitty strand, and that was the legal right that they had to it. So they had to use that. So there's never any fucking proof you're gonna get from it.
Yeah. No, I know 100% where you're coming from. I feel like it's just that the stigmatism is why it's held back. But didn't Mexico just actually, not just, but didn't they legalize like certain personal amounts of drugs and stuff like that?
I mean, I'm telling you, I don't think it's a bad idea. And just watching somebody recently come out of a complete hole, and shout out to Shayla because she's fucking kicking ass out there in
And
San Diego.
that was
But-
before I even came
but
on the podcast.
that
That's
just
one of your that has
shows-
one of your most amount of views, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
just shows that, like, getting yourself out of it is totally possible, becoming healthy, getting the right
Right.
mindset. And now that people are supporting you and actually fucking treating you like a human being after the shit happens, again, people are going to do those drugs, they're going to get them.
Yeah.
And
Illegal or not.
I know
doesn't
it's not
matter.
a good idea to put them in a place to get them, but as long as it's, I don't know, man, it's tough.
If it's
Maybe they'll just make more dangerous shit. to do
Right,
that
right.
Ends up being
put rat
illegal.
poisons and shit in it.
But I don't know, man. It's crazy to see that there's like, you ask people out there and there's like, no, they don't have weed dealers in California. It's you just go into a store. So either they lied to you
Right.
the whole time about marijuana, so in all these other states when you're getting busted for it, it's really not a bad thing, or we should follow the policy of just making all drugs legal because it's a better situation as a whole. So which one do you want to call it? California sets the stand. You can't have a fucking piece of plastic right now without this little sticker that tells you in California this
right.
gives you cancer. I have to print receipts at work that show that fucking symbol that got my customers freaking out with
That's-
chemicals saying, "Oh my God, are these what's wrong with these?" And I'm
Causes
like,
cancer in California.
Only in California.
Yeah, that's
With the
that's actually
seawater.
that's a funny thing. Like in the construction industry, is it's like a joke. Like, oh, you know that causes cancer in California, right? Like only in California, though. Are we actually like recording all this right now? I was wondering why you're speaking into your mic like that.
Oh yeah, I snuck a little sneaky in.
I was like,
Sneaky
you were
for my
speaking in your mic. I was
peoples.
like, I should stay in front of my mic, but.
One of my people's. Yeah,
no,
we're
that's-
playing music. We're just chilling. But that
Shout
whole
out Reno
situation-
Rich right here. This
Oh,
actually,
yeah.
you guys aren't even supposed to be hearing this song yet because I don't think it's finished. But I don't think Reno would mind.
I'm just happy to be chilling. We just had a little situation. I couldn't grasp the whole. I've heard that little saying of if we legalize it and we do this and we do that, but like going to California now and seeing dudes handing weed out to the bums like it's a care pack, and seeing that it's a cleaner situation than the bum situation we have. Those
Yeah.
poor guys look haggard and dirty. Those dudes look like they probably were all right. And they were just getting free weed and eating free food on the streets.
The problem is they're not working. The problem is they're not contributing to society. They're not being active members of society.
Yeah, they're
I think
giving
that's
you
the.
that Venice
I
Beach
think
feel.
that's the. Well, I get that, but that's the issue. Is they're not being contributing members of society. Like, it's one thing to not care about yourself, maybe, but also at the same time, like, what are you doing to be a piece of the puzzle? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that with all the issues that we have and spend on security and border control and all this stuff, that there's a bunch of different ways that they could worry
Border
about
Patrol?
the drug. Yeah, because they worry about
Yeah.
drugs coming in through the border and all these different things.
No,
and it's
I
like-
agree with you 100% on it. I think that we should.
Like, you really
I
gonna
think
tell
I
me
think there
that
should be a certain
at a
a
time
number.
Cocaine was used for a bunch of medicinal purposes, and now you're gonna tell people that they can't enjoy it.
Use
but
it
You
recreationally?
can drink 5 bangs and go do whatever you want.
Yeah, fuck yeah, you
And
can.
explode your heart and punch through 5
Yeah,
layers of sheetrock. Like,
exactly.
come on, dude.
That's a monster, bro. Not
Just-
bang. Don't get bang a
No,
bad rap
dude,
like that.
You can't punch through 2 layers of sheetrock on a monster. If you have a bang, though,
Maybe.
if you have a bang, you put your dick through that thing.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
All you
if you're
Kyles
trying to
out there-
bang, put your
all
dick
you
through the
Kyles
thing.
out there don't understand what a bang's all about. You never been banged.
So I know I agree with you 100%. I think to an extent a certain amount of drugs should be legalized and maybe in steps and processes. And there's probably the reason they haven't done it is like I said because these high ups that own a certain percentage of the society in a
JP
sense.
Morgan. with the fucking boatload of cocaine.
Fuck, man. Oh, literally a boat
What happened to
loaded.
that? Oh, Epstein died, and then we
With
didn't hear what
cocaine.
happened to that, and then there was nothing about either one of them.
Yeah, that shit's crazy. I don't know. It's you know
Please
what?
don't break
Hold
my
on.
neck.
It's
Please
way
don't make me break my
It's
neck.
way above our heads. We're just having a drunken conversation right now. It's way above our heads to even be talking about. And I don't. I
Bro,
mean,
how did that
I
go
get
away?
I get frustrated in the
And-
back of my mind thinking about it, like what you're talking
But
about.
wait a minute. Let me just ask this one simple question about Epstein. So he's running this big sex, whatever, child, whatever it is, whatever that they call
Child
it, right?
molestation, right?
He's running this shit, right? And he's doing all this other business stuff, and he's a big, rich, powerful guy. And all right, was he running it all by himself?
No, there's no way.
No, but he had to have been, because once he died, it all just went away. Right? Because no, he had to have been
He's the
running it
fall
all,
man.
No, all by himself. He did the whole thing. He was like going
the
and
scapegoat.
stealing every one of the kids, and then he was putting them in the sexual prostitution ring. He pimped them all out, was there on all the
He's
sites.
a fucking scapegoat.
So why?
You know it.
I don't understand. Like, and they conveniently did it right before election, when they had plenty of bullshit to put on the fucking television.
Dude, I don't know.
Dude, that's the most fucked
Keegan,
up thing.
I would
that-
rather talk. I'd rather talk aliens and conspiracies of that type of nature with Big Keegs rather than talk about
Non-conspiracies?
politics conspiracies. This
That's
shit is
not a
endless.
politic
It's endless.
conspiracy.
Well,
That's a
it
fucking-
no, it turned
that's-
into a political conspiracy.
That's a real thing, bro. I don't even want to hear the word conspiracy
It turned
tied to that.
yeah, okay. Well, yeah. No, I agree with you. I
Cut
think there's
the
some fucked up
shit.
shit there, but it
Holy
turned. But the
fuck.
reason I just like kind of don't care at this point is because it turned into a political conspiracy because of the politics that were involved and because of Bill Clinton.
Yeah, but
and
that's
because,
just life. That,
yeah.
we call it political.
Hey,
That's like
light those
saying you're what-
motherfuckers on fire in the street tonight. I will be there. I will bring my 5-year-old daughters to fucking roast marshmallows over these dead bodies.
Somebody just told me that they were passing along in California that they could take that if your neighbor calls in and says that he feels threatened or she feels
They can
threatened,
take your
right,
gun?
They can come to your place and take your
Light
gun.
that whole fucking state on fire, bro.
I don't think they want to
Glass
try that in
beaches.
Arizona.
Glass beaches when I'm done with it. Light that whole fucking state on fire. Glass beaches.
I don't think it's a good idea. And you can go to the homie's house that like be out there cripping and or doing
The plug.
You know, yeah. Oh, he's out there yelling at some people, and you're gonna call. He makes me feel threatened, and they come to that house. That ain't a good move.
I don't know, man. It's all too much for me. It's all too
Oh,
much. I'm
man.
trying to be simple.
It's above our pay grade, so I guess we should probably leave the
I'm
people
trying to
alone.
hang out. Yeah.
Like even we went to Home Depot to grab like a piece of lumber for Uncle, and like we have the Mexican guys that stand outside the Home Depot, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, if you need something, you go up and say, hey, one of you guys do this or whatever, and
Right.
they'll come over. They're pretty cool, man. There, you don't got to go up to them. They peel through the parking lot, bro, and they come right up to your window. You're not even parked in the parking spot yet. You're like pulling into the spot, and
They're like in your way to get
they're like,
out.
you need a painter, man. You need a painter, and I'm like, bro, I'm trying to pull in this parking spot. You can make me crash. And then I like drove off with this big board, and I was like, we're gonna paint it all ourselves, and I like pissed a bunch. I'm just kidding. But no, it was cool. We went out there, and
That's fun.
I took your advice at the park
Yeah.
because you told me I had to make sure I did. What'd you tell me? The studio ride.
The studio ride.
Or
You
the
do
studio tour.
backdraft was like a
They
original
didn't,
OG.
they didn't have that no more.
No backdraft. Yeah. See, it's been a long time since I've been there. You guys did the because it's close to Halloween. You did the haunted house deal.
Oh, we did the Harry Potter thing.
Oh yeah.
Dude, they really put the work in on that.
The Harry Potter one was
It was
the
impressive.
biggest deal.
It's impressive
for a while.
But honestly, my favorite part was being at the Simpsons area.
oh yeah.
I was like, dude, I've never felt like relaxed like that. It's been a long time where where you just walk into like the house and the wood stove's going and it's nice and warm and you just walk in and when I walked in and got a Duff beer at Moe's Bar, and then I walked over into Krusty Burger and I got a Krusty Burger and I tucked myself into like this little back cove that was just like this little like horseshoe, just little tuck in.
Just a dream come true, nostalgic from your childhood.
They had the Simpsons playing, like, and they were just doing like 5-minute clips of like funny
Yeah.
parts. And dude, I didn't want to leave that part. Like I was like, just leave me here forever.
Okay. I was gonna say that's one of the greatest like American cartoons of all time. Did you see the speaking of because Rick and Morty's about to drop here on November 10th? Is it
10th or
11th?
11th.
Yeah, 11th maybe. I should know that. Did you see the little video they did crashing the Simpsons?
I think I did. Yeah.
Morty goes crashing in. It's the whole Simpsons intro. They go running in. They sit on the couch. And then they come crashing in, and then Morty gets out like, oh my god, Rick, and then Rick's like, Morty, you just killed one of the most iconic families in America, Morty. What'd you do, Morty? There's like over 100 characters.
God, Rick!
There's like 100 characters here, Morty. we need to fix this before they find out. That was pretty great.
Man, you made it when you get to do that. When you get to do a little
The intro to the Simpsons, yeah, because a couple different cartoons have done it, I think.
Like even when I'm just stressed out and I just need to like unwind for a minute, that's like the best. You put the Simpsons on, and Family Guy is great too, but you put the Simpsons on.
Yeah, Family Guy. I'm Futurama, Family Guy, The Simpsons, American Dad.
Have you watched Enchanted yet?
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Enchanted, and like a lot of people don't like Futurama, but I always liked Futurama.
Go back.
And then I actually did. I did just recently. I started watching the second season. I'm like, I just not into it.
It's not for you, huh?
Not for me, man.
You don't like Elfo?
Which is strange that it's not for me because I'm totally into all those,
I think it's pretty good.
Adult cartoons per se.
But I'm not gonna lie, when I was at Crystal's uncle's and everybody went to bed and I was just kind of sitting up, and I think he has like Hulu or something, and I couldn't really find. I went right to Rick and Morty, and I just started watching Rick and Morty, and I was just kicking back. I was like, man, this shit is so
That's
good.
the greatest.
So good.
So, there's something you touched on. You're like, it's so much different when you're in Venice. It got me thinking, how different is it? And you lived all the way on the eastest of the coasts. How crazy is it that the United States is just so completely different as you travel across like the Midwest, the East Coast, the northern area, the West Coast?
Oh, it's incredible.
From the terminology, the slang, the accent, the culture, like the food, everything. It changes so much all the way across, and people I think take that for granted when you think of like, you got Europe, you have those countries that are all packed right next to each other, and people are like, well, I want to go there and experience like the beer in Germany and smoke weed in Amsterdam and go to Italy and try the food and like do all these different things. And it's like we kind of have that type of culture here, where you go from West Coast to East Coast and you have all these different things in between.
Oh, if you take yourself out of the States, if you don't think about growing up here and you're somewhere else, it's some little podunk shit town in another country.
Podunk. I was thinking Nolans when you said that.
So you're just in this little town, and like y'all got maybe like Paris, you got the Eiffel Tower, you got a couple little things, and then you look at America. Like, dude, even like you go into like even towns that aren't crazy. Like you go to Chicago, they have their own flair of craziness, and then you go into Florida, and that's a whole nother story, dude. Like
Florida's even so much different from like north to south end.
That's what I'm saying. You got it all the way. You go up into New England, and you get yourself up in those tri-state areas, and you start seeing some of that. Or then you go to New York, iconic, huge buildings, all that.
Jersey.
You go to the Midwest. There's some, I don't know what's out there, tornadoes and shit. I don't really know what they have.
But like then you got like Philly, you got like Pennsylvania, like there's like Pittsburgh, there's also iconic stuff. You go down like you go like Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas, like that border right there. You can walk back and forth across. There's really iconic stuff. Like Kansas City, Kansas, man. They've got buildings that are just ridiculously old and still the original build, like original bricks and stuff, like old factories that, used to produce stuff like in the industrial age.
Yeah.
Crazy shit, man.
And then, then you get into the Wild Wild West, you get into Texas, you get into, New Mexico, you get into Arizona.
You know what?
And then you get to California, and you start looking at some of our coasts, and even some of the coasts on the East Coast. I mean, Miami's got some beautiful water out there. There's a bunch of different little areas that are cool.
Yeah, and on the East Coast, like in the Atlantic, you got that cold water, and that's why they have those. They get the typhoons, they get the fucking hurricanes, they get the crazy shit out there.
But I'm just saying, from an outside perspective, looking in at the States, you're like, God damn, y'all get, and you can say whatever, for the most part, you can say whatever the fuck you want, and y'all get to have guns.
Oh, dude, we're crazy over here.
Shit's lit over here,
You know
son.
where I do really want to go is like Atlantic City Boardwalk, like in Jersey. That'd be a great place.
Yeah,
They got gambling there. They got, just like Vegas, they got a strip. Like they got gambling. They got
I'm
boardwalk.
good. Fuck
They
that
got all
place.
kinds of shit.
I'm good with the East Coast, bro. I had enough.
I'll just go visit. You don't gotta be there too
Boston's
long.
fun. I'm not gonna say Boston's not fun.
That's how you know the West is the best, bro. Because you came,
Yeah.
you moved out here. You're like, fuck that. I want
Dude, it's
spicy
better.
shit. I want the Southwestern.
I will say, like, going to North Hollywood. So, like, areas in North Hollywood, like within a block, you go from, to give you a perspective, is like downtown McDowell
I've been to
and
Hollywood.
then into like Arcadia in
Yeah.
in like a block.
I mean, that happens out here too.
No, not like no, because it's like
Dude, you go
it's not like
you
a-
go from Paradise Valley to the square.
It's
in
like a just
mile.
it's just it is cool looking like at night and stuff, and you see like
Yeah.
some of the old neon lights, and you see the Hollywood signs everywhere,
Yeah.
and we've been there a bunch of times, and like he lives right next to like some pretty famous people's houses and stuff. Like he just rents a place, but dude, that place, like I was saying with the bums, if you're gonna go live, if you're gonna be a bum,
Yeah, go
like,
there.
why wouldn't you?
Yeah, get the fuck out of Phoenix. Go there.
Like, why? That's my point. Like, what are you doing in Phoenix? That's what makes me think a lot of these people aren't bums, or somebody just hasn't showed them. Like, dude, I'll pay for a bus ticket for you.
Right.
Get out there. Like, but I feel bad because now I'm seeing all the people from California run over here.
Mm.
It's Phoenix, California.
Oh, California over there. I ain't going. I ain't got my guns.
It
I'll go visit. I'm not
it
staying
wasn't
there.
a bad trip. The weather was really
Nah,
good.
I like to visit there. My favorite place to go there is like Ocean Beach, Pacific Beach, Mission Beach. That's where we usually go. But we probably got to do a Hollywood trip soon. Girls will probably be old enough soon to go, or maybe we just do a mom and dad trip.
So, what were we gonna talk about? We were gonna talk a little bit about.
We didn't have anything in the bank, and I think we've been killing it for the first little portion here, just coming up with stuff on the fly.
Well, I will tell you one thing I saw in California that I have never seen before, and it
Ooh.
was a guy longboarding down, just coming out of Beverly Hills, and he's longboarding down the hill with a macaw parrot, and he's not like going slow, bro. He's like ripping,
He's
like
cooking.
carving, and I'm like, dude, there's a macaw on
yeah.
this dude's shoulder, and he's just like ripping down this hill, and I thought to myself, like, in Florida, that wouldn't even be crazy. Like that dude would have had
Yeah.
like a smoking jacket on. He'd have been on a unicycle. He'd have had like little mini
gator.
alligator with its own pet parrot sitting on
his
it, and
shoulder.
he'd have been like smoking meth out of a light bulb, and he'd have been ripping down that hill.
Man,
There would have been like, what were you saying? There'd be like a sign.
I bet
that
my
says
buddy.
you can't do all those things, and he'd have been like riding right by it.
I'm
That's
willing
Florida.
to bet my buddy's longboarded with his macaw. Shout out Joe Owens, his macaw scavenger just passed away recently, so R.I.P.
Okay, so
scavenger.
it wasn't him, dude. That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
I was just like, dude, he's ripping down some hills, and cars are like coming up from like behind him, like on the parrot's side too. And I was just like, dude, it made me a little nervous. But
I mean, the bird will just kind of fall with style, like Buzz Lightyear if he gets hit or something.
y'all don't have to worry about me ever moving to California though, because I definitely can't afford it.
Yeah, no, and I just don't want to be there. I want to go visit. I'm good for
Yeah.
7 to 10 days max, and I'm out.
Oh, I mean, like if I was mad rich and I could like afford to have a place there, but like I say it
yeah.
like that, like a place, because like,
And you mean if you're mad rich, you could afford like a little 2-bedroom like condo there?
or even like if I was really rich,
then
then
like a
you could have,
little
like
half shit house.
lit ass house. Nah, like a lit ass house. Man, that's crazy though. A lot of people coming here now.
Yeah,
Makes
this
you
is
want to buy
this
property.
is a great spot to be. They're getting scared of that San Andreas fault line, boy.
Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson got them all shooken over
Shit,
there.
you don't have one of the. You should have shouted out to Natty. What do you call that? What are they called? Natter days. or something?
Natter days. Those things are pretty good.
Those things are kind of interesting.
Strawberry lemonade beer. They're tasty, man.
I don't know.
It's a good summer one. And I'm drinking now Hell or High Watermelon. It's from 21st Amendment Brewery. It is a watermelon wheat beer. It is delicious. 4.9 ABV, 17 IBUs. It's pretty delicious. And I know you guys are thinking like, this dude's always drinking IPAs and ambers and stuff, and I'm going with something fruity tonight. So go fuck yourselves.
I've watched Dakota do some weird shit like this a lot of times. I don't know if I did it right. So I just poured like some of my Dos Equis into my
give it a
Bloody
little
Mary.
stir, dude. Dip your balls in it or something. Needs a little extra salt.
This is how this podcast stays alive right here. So I go home. I don't know. It was probably 6 years ago or 7 years ago, and I hadn't been home in a little while. I go home by myself, so I don't have Crystal with me, which instantly is not a very first night. I'm going to be pretty good. By the second or third night, one of my friends is coming to pick me up.
Oh, you're getting ham boned, yeah.
So I think my sister was even involved in this, and we all went out and drank and ended up in this bar, like in a different bar upstairs, and this there was like a shelf on the wall next to the pool table. Everybody was setting their drinks on.
Right.
And apparently I mistook somebody else's drink for my drink, and not on purpose, like completely honest mistake. I grabbed it and I hit his drink real good, and the dude like started yelling at me. So I was like, oh my God, totally sorry. Ordered the guy a drink.
I've heard this story, and I'm hoping it wasn't on the podcast, but just
I don't think it has been.
Okay.
But
I've heard it.
You just said about stirring the drink with your balls. And I was so drunk, the guy, like, I ordered him a drink. I apologized like twice, and he kept yelling at me. And I was just like, man, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, I'm sorry I bought you a drink. And he said another thing to me, and I was like, all right, buddy, I'm going to get you a drink, and I'm going to stir your drink with my dick. And I yelled it at him, and like everybody in the whole room
always
it was a lot more aggressive than that, but I'm kind of relaxed tonight, so I'm not trying to hit that octave. And I told him,
it sounds a little more
and
aggressive.
it even kind of threw him off a little bit, like, what did you just say? And I was like, and I'm gonna make you drink it, is what I told him at the end. And everybody just looked at me.
You can't say that not aggressively.
Yeah, I said it pretty.
Hey, buddy, listen here. I'm gonna buy you a drink. I'm gonna stir it with my dick, and I'm gonna make you drink it, and I'm gonna put it on Snapchat for all my friends and your friends to see.
I need let me get your handle so I can,
What is it? At dick drinking motherfucker?
At dickstraw.com. Like, I don't know, man. And like, I don't know where I never heard that from anybody. I don't know why I said it to him. And I was just like, and then it became the joke from everybody all night, like after the dude left and he was embarrassed and had to leave the bar. And now I just feel like every time when somebody tells me to stir the drink, that's what you think that goes through my head. I can't get that out of my head.
This guy's always just thinking about dicks, He's like, whenever I think of stirring a drink, I'm like, gotta think.
That's why we had to switch the table, because I kept drawing dicks on the other one.
It was in the glass. He'd breathe on it and draw little dicks in it.
I kind of miss that table, but
yeah, where'd that table go?
It's in the other room.
Okay, well, we'll bring it back in for the next podcast or something.
Rooms.
So we'll get it back in here for one of these podcasts coming up. We'll change the background for you guys again. Shout out Keegan for doing a bunch of that. I'm gonna bring some artwork over. I'm gonna bring some stuff over.
There's a new window to the outside. I had birch trees planted outside the house.
It was originally a pass through, and then we were like, it's still a little warm outside. We should probably.
It was a drive through.
We should probably put some glass.
I bought an old Jack in the Box out here that didn't make it out here on the west side.
Yep.
I should have done something better than Jack in the Box. How come that shit hits so hard at like 1:30 in the morning?
Okay, first of all, don't disrespect Jack like that, because Jack in the Box hits hard every time. Shit slaps. Next question.
All right. I'm not trying to offend anybody, but boy, at 1:30, like, I remember not wanting to stop one time because we probably shouldn't have been driving, whoever it was.
Hey, here's a question. We're like in kind of midst of the podcast right now, so if anyone is still listening or just started listening or wherever you are, Keegan and I have had a couple of ideas as far as some podcasts coming up, because we did like the wing thing early on like the first one that I was on, which was like episode 11. We're now in 27. We've been wanting to do some coffee, like from around the valley, from around like the North Phoenix, kind of West Phoenix area. Think about doing some coffees, think about doing some burgers, tacos. If you guys got any ideas, shout them out. If you made it this far into the podcast, then thank you very much. We appreciate it. But if you got some ideas like that, shout them out, throw them at us. Let us know if you guys have friends that own brands or products of stuff that we can compare and try against other, big brands, anything, food, drinks. Let us know. Yeah. Shoot it in the comments. Send it DM in the Facebook.
And I mean, if you got anybody that that has something cool they're doing, that's really the thing. Is like I'm not. I mean, we can sit here and talk bullshit for days,
Right.
but I do enjoy like having the guys at Wildcat Peak on here.
We had a great time.
Was so cool because the more I listen to that 3-pack, it pisses me off. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
their
like,
music.
bro, you gave me 3.
It does make me
I think I
mad.
sent him a message like, y'all better get on the wagon and get it done, because I'm not even playing around. I need to see. I need at least 5 more tracks within by the end of the year.
Connor, go bug your fucking lazy.
Please
go bug your lazy ass fucking cousin Smokeahonis
Garrett,
over there.
get the fuck up and get back in the studio, bro. That shit is killer. I'm telling you right now. The more I've been listening to it when I'm bored, and I'm like, I need something different.
I got
this
a great
rap
one.
music's pissing me off. And
So just today at work, sorry, I got the wheezy laugh right now. It's so funny.
Holy shit.
Some girl walks by.
Favorite band's Weezer over here.
Some girl walks by and Garrett like turns and takes a look. Nice, bro. My shoe's dirty. Garrett like turns and it, like not even like he was like, you know, purposely checking the girl out or anything. She was just a good looking girl, like tatted up sleeve, but like over in the Scotts area.
Just checking her out.
And he like kind of does this like look and double take, like, whoa. And then another guy that he works with was like, yeah.
Spicy.
Zach, I don't know Zach's last name. Shout out tall ass Zach, tall skinny earthworm Zach. And Zach's like, oh, like kind of smiles, like looks, and I like see the girl from a distance from behind. I'm like, whatever, dude. It's not that great. It's cool. And Garrett's like, hey, like she's good looking, man. Don't be a douche. And I'm like, all right. Well, a little while later, the girl walks by and I'm in the cooler area and I don't see her or whatever. And Garrett just comes walking in and he's like, like just singing like brown skin girl. That's the brown skin girl. And I'm like, you need to write a song now about a brown skin girl. Do like a reggae vibe, like 86040. I think it would hit. I think that shit was slap.
I think what they need to do is they need to get a couple of us over to listen to the project they got tucked.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
And just give them some opinion. Because as much as I hate hearing other people's opinion about the podcast, after I have a couple minutes or even a week or 2 or 3 to just settle on it, like it's typically true. You know we got to start cutting these up, maybe making them into 1 or 2 parts. I don't want to bore y'all too much, but
and there's not a whole lot of that wee stuff either. I'll shoot him like, yo, hey, that one part we did this, you should pull that out, or you like throw that up on a video. Sometimes I do. I'm like, hey, when we were talking about that, would be a good clip. But yeah, most of the time it's just you being like, hey, check this out, and shoot me the clip.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. So
right on.
I don't know. What do you think we're at right now?
I don't know, 30, 40 minutes.
What do you want to do?
I don't know. You got anything else you want to talk about? You wanted to talk about, you're like, I don't know, we shouldn't talk about politics, but do you know what's going on with like the impeachment process? So I pulled up a Wikipedia page, and this is enough to just shut the conversation down immediately. It says various people and groups, this is efforts to impeach Donald Trump, Wikipedia. Various people and groups assert the U.S. President Donald Trump has engaged in impeachable activity both before and during his presidency. And it's a Wikipedia page, and it's like, well, if nothing's actually happened yet, you can't say.
I don't know enough about it to really dive too deep.
Don't
but
either.
what I do understand is like if they attack him, right? If they go after him for it, they're gonna go after him, and his lawyer has the ability to question them, so he can question whoever he wants. Like there's gonna it opens up both ends, and I think they know that. And I think like every time they go after him, something's happening where he's either calling the bluff or he's laying some of the cards out on the table.
Right.
But the problem is like I don't know how to explain this to a lot of people that if they even listen to it will get pissed off. He's gonna be the president again.
I think you're right.
I don't even
I think
like
you're right.
even if I'm telling you right now, they don't have anybody on the Democratic side. And I know people are going, oh, well, this person and that person. Yeah. You need a stand-up comic. They said it right on that Sober October. I'm not kidding. Or you need The Rock, or you need
yeah. No, The Rock's not gonna do it. Marky Mark's not gonna do it.
Elon
Musk can't do it. Mark Cuban could do it.
You need somebody that is able to, I mean, you need Barack. You need somebody that can actually articulate themselves and not have to spend 37 minutes trying to form an opinion about something. Like Biden's too old.
Yeah,
Warren isn't gonna make it, bro.
Biden
I'm
can't stay
sorry.
awake. Hillary can't stay standing.
Warren's not gonna make it, and then you got Bernie.
Bernie can barely stay alive.
Go Bernie, just because I want the name
I
to
like-
trend long enough to maybe get some extra followers from that shit.
I mean, Bernie's cool, but I don't know if he's gonna stay alive long enough to make it.
Bro, there's a clip of Bernie talking to kids on a playground in like the 90s or the 80s about, you know anybody that sells cocaine? And they're like fucking 8. And he's like,
They're like, we didn't know. We don't even know what cocaine is.
And he's like, you know what cocaine is? And like, do you know what cocaine is? And the kids are like,
Well, 'cause-
yeah. And he's like, he's like, you understand? And he's like saying all this weird shit to him. And like, it's the most,
Yeah.
it's cringy. And then I think about it and I'm like, this really happened. And it was put on Vermont Public Broadcasting.
Cringeworthy at best.
Because he was like the whatever the fuck he was in Vermont. I don't even know. I didn't even know his name until he tried to run for president.
And yeah, I mean, there's not a great deal of good.
Joe Rogan for
Candidates.
president, bro.
He would never do it.
Tell me about the aliens.
I used to post. I used
Tell me
to.
about the aliens.
There's 2 years in a row I posted, and this is like sometime within the past decade. 2 years in a row I posted like Musk and Cuban, like for I think I put Musk Cuban like 2016, and I did Musk Cuban 2020 like a few years ago. People were like, you know Elon Musk. I'm like, yeah, I fucking know. He's from South Africa. I was just kidding. I'm just saying that would be ideal
Keanu
for some
Reeves.
smart people.
Come on. America loves him.
Keanu.
Keanu. That sounds like a great presidential name. President Keanu Reeves.
Oh, this is a great beer right here. Firestone Brewery, Easy Jack IPA. Easy drinking IPA. That's
It's
what it
easy
is.
drinking for the weekend.
That is smooth and citrusy and hoppy. That's a tasty one.
You know, fucking fantasy football is bullshit, dude.
Oh yeah. Okay, we haven't talked about any fantasy in a while.
Well,
We
it's
kinda-
because it's a bunch of bullshit. It's fucking stupid.
How you doing? That I'm assuming that you're having a terrible time because
The only one
Hey,
only
for
game
one-
I won.
hold on, for one, you haven't called me on any sound advice. And for two,
I don't need sound advice.
I've already won like $100 and we're only like not
Your-
even halfway into the season
Your
yet.
team is your team. If you ask me about my team, health wise, typical performance wise, like they've been really good. And it's just been like shitty situations. It's just got me. It's plagued
That
me.
happens, man.
Like people that played me had like just outstanding weeks. And then
Yeah.
the 1 week I won, I actually played one of the guys. Shout out to the pool chasers, Tyler. I played Tyler and I beat him. And you know, it was close at the end. And I left Fuller on the bench the week he did 52.
Oh my
This is
god.
the first time I benched him. And I mean, he hadn't been producing. I took a chance with somebody I brought in that I thought was gonna, and they had an all right week. And I think I put Sanu up in, so that kind of
Sanu.
Sanu. So it, yeah, that I won my first week and got worst manager of the week at the same time.
Nice, dude.
So and then I lost. Shout out to the AZ Pool Techs. We're in the football league together, and the commish. The commish is
Commish.
Nicole, also one of the admins on the page or moderators. I don't if Greg didn't make her an admin, but she beat me. I couldn't have beat her. Like even if I couldn't have made a better decision of
Right
what I
off
made.
your bench, there's nothing you could have
And,
done.
and we had some good, but I had somebody get hurt, and I've been making good moves. I'm not mad at my moves, and
Yeah.
the one thing I have is I'm not losing a lot of people to too many injuries. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I got 3 leagues, so I've been plagued with all kinds of different things, but I'm like 5-1 in one league. I'm 4-2 in the other, and then I'm 2 and 2
I'm
and
1
3
and 4.
or 2 and 4.
I'm
on
not
the other
doing.
one.
I'm not
good
doing
that
so
one.
well, but it's okay. I'm coming back, bro. It's early.
Yeah, and I got weekly winnings. I won 75 out of one league and 25 out of another. I'm sitting pretty good right now. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
There's weekly winnings in those ones, and there's end of the year pots in 2 of my leagues, weekly winnings in 2 of the leagues. It's a good time. But yeah, man. I don't know. You got any other things you want to touch on at the moment?
No, not really, man.
What we will do is we will gear up for the next podcast here.
Well, I do
next
have
week.
a cool little. I reached out. It's funny. It's like you.
Oh yeah, it's a
You
good one.
miss 100% of the shots you don't take, or whatever, 1,000%, or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, no.
But
There's only 100% of anything, so
Yeah,
you had it right the first
I'm
time.
giving it 1,000. So
110%. It's
I
not
reached
even
out to
possible.
somebody that was, somebody I really like. I'm not even gonna name any names until we
And
get something done.
actually, what's funny is I kind of introduced
You
you
did
to
know
that
100%.
person.
That, and I even wrote it in that thing, I think. But I sent a message to an artist that is, he's
Pretty
created
reputable.
yeah, he's a pretty reputable guy. And he actually responded to us. We tried to get him on the podcast. He can't do it when he comes into town next week, but he agreed to do a Skype message with us, or a Skype podcasting with us, which is going to be kind of cool. So we're shooting for that. But I'm gonna try to get some comedians that are coming into town, and just try to put the word out that we're gonna get some interesting people on here. So again, shout out to Wildcat Peak for coming through the last time, because that was a very fun podcast for me.
It was a great one.
Those guys are very interesting. I'm sorry that the video
Had an issue.
Apple did their update, man.
Took a
Steve
shit.
Jobs, what's
And
up, bro?
if anyone's watching this, which I know there's a bunch of people watching this right now, if you see me looking down, it's because last time the camera took a shit on us and for some reason turned off. So Keegan actually set up a mirror, and I keep looking at Keegan in the mirror right here. So if you notice me looking down when you're watching this, it's because I can't not do it. My brain's like, you gotta,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Keegan's been pulling 100% of the weight, doing all the audio engineering, all the video engineering, and up to this point, I've been pulling 100% of the weight on getting good guests in here.
Yeah, I'm working.
Like shout out Chris Gritzmacher, great UFC fighter. About to see him make a comeback. He's actually in Vegas right now at the UFC Performance Center.
Yeah, but I brought you in, so like.
You brought me in, yeah, for good reasons, because I'm cool as hell and I know fucking cool people.
All right, well,
Dope
I heard
AF.
about you back in the day. So
And then
just,
brought Tragedy in here, brought Wildcat Peak in here. I got another artist I don't want to name yet because I'm really excited about them that I might want to get in here, or I do want to get in here.
Celine Dion.
No, I'm not. I know I only got one Canadian that's fond of me, and ironically, it's my ex-girlfriend, my baby mama's new boyfriend. So
Hold up! Shout out to I don't know who it is, but somebody overseas or somewhere in a different time zone downloads the podcast. So I don't know who you are. Feel free to send a message. I honestly have no clue who it is. But I have been noticing, maybe it's my cousin, maybe he's out on the water or something, but I don't know who it was that's been downloading it, and they're in a different area, because I'm seeing it like for the next day, on the day that it gets downloaded.
Okay.
So that only can mean that it's coming from a different time zone. So shout out to you, whoever you are. Shout out to all the first responders out there. Shout out to all the teachers out there, like my wife, God bless her heart, because I don't know how the hell she does it. She's amazing.
Shout out teachers, teaching our youth.
And shout out to all the pool guys out there keeping your pool clean, because you still want to dip in it once in a while, right?
Yeah.
It's not that hot. It was 96 degrees today. You still want to dip in
the high was the high 96 today?
My truck said 96.
Man, it's been in like it's been in the mid 60s in the mornings. Well, I leave for work like before the sun's up, so. But we're gonna definitely be having some more guests coming in, and maybe a couple guests Skyping in, a couple guests popping in. We're gonna be bringing
a guest on another podcast here. Yeah. Both of us. If I we're gonna see if that one's something that we're gonna do as a collective. So that's a cool one. But
yeah, we'll have some more stuff coming for you guys, and we appreciate you guys listening to it, taking the time to check it out. If you're watching it, then I really, you guys are really putting a lot of effort into doing that, so I appreciate that. We love you guys. Go fuck yourselves. Have a good night. Keegs and Kota, we're out.
Boom.